In the previous session, we have seen multiple except blocks along with finally block and else block also, right? So this program will use only multiple except blocks, no else block and no finally block. So look at the try block. We are reading a number using an input function and converting it into integer format and storing in the variable num, and then I'm finding number power of 2. So that is square, a square of the number I'm finding and printing it using the print statement. Now if I give instead of a number some alphabet or something, then it will generate a value error. So this except block will be executed. And if your keyboard input is interrupted, that means when you're giving some input, your keyboard is interrupted and you didn't give any input because of that, then this keyboard interrupt except block will be executed and it will print you should have entered number. So let me show you by executing this program the output how it will be. So if I give a number 9, there is no exception at all. So instead of a number, I'll give an alphabet, say C. So what is the output? Please check before you enter a number. So where we have written this, please check before you enter number in except block with value error. So that means what? Instead of giving a numeric value, if you give something else, any other type of value, then it is nothing but a value error. So this except block will be executed. So now instead of giving a number, I'll type Control C. So Control C will not give any input from the keyboard. So what is executed? Keyboard interrupt error has been occurred. So this print statement, you should have entered number, will be displayed. So that's the reason why you're getting enter a number, you should have entered a number. So how to interrupt the keyboard input? Press Control C. Instead of giving input value, you press Control C, then you'll get that error. You should have entered a number. So this is multiple except blocks without any else block or finally block. And in the morning we have discussed also a single except block can have multiple exceptions, right? So let us see how to use that. With a single except block, use multiple exception types. So simple program, a try block, the same code that we have seen in the previous program, inputting a number and finding its square. So in the except block, what I have done is, so how to give that multiple exception types here within the parentheses we discussed in the syntax theoretically. So within the parentheses, mention all those types of exceptions you want to handle within the single except block by separating them with a comma. So what are the types of exceptions I'm going to handle here? Keyboard interrupt, value error and type error, right? So if I give print, uh, if I create any kind of exception here while giving, I'll press Control C, then keyboard interrupt will occur. Then same message, enter numbers only, will be displayed. Even if I give a alphabet instead of number also, I'll get the same message. Even if type error occurs also, the same message will be displayed. So what is the advantage here? instead of using multiple except blocks, we can create a single except block, but we will not know exactly which exception has occurred there, because for all the exceptions we are having a single message here. So if you have an exclusive except block for each type of exception, then we'll exactly know what type of exception has occurred, right? The user will know what type of exception has occurred exactly, but in this case we'll not know exactly which type of exception has occurred. So let me run this program and show you. So I pressed Control C button, then even then also I'm getting enter numbers only. I gave an alphabet A, then also I'll get the same. So irrespective of what type of input you give, what exception occurs, the same message will be displayed for you there. Enter numbers only. So this is not suggested in case if you want to know exactly in your program what exception has occurred, then you better use multiple except blocks with the exclusive except block for each type of exception, instead of using a common except block for different types of exceptions. Okay, but if it is not necessary for you, then you can go for this one, which will reduce the code. So that is the only advantage with this multiple except block, sorry, single except block with multiple exception types. And next we'll see how to use this raise. So I told you in the previous session that without we explicitly writing the code and that code generating a kind of exception, we can generate an exception, any kind of exception, by using a raise keyword, just like a throw keyword does in Java. So you can use raise keyword also here. So look at the try block. We are creating a variable num and assigning 20 for it, and then printing that number, and simply I'm raising value error. Because this raise statement is put inside the try block, the corresponding except block will be executed, and it will print a message. This is user defined message. Whatever message we want, we can give there. See, so look at the output. Value error exception has occurred. This statement will be executed, but here exception will be generated, and after that directly except block will be executed. So if I write any other statements here after the raise statement, they will not be executed. See, is it executed? No, it is not executed. So the same thing happens even if we don't use raise keyword also. the same thing will happen, right? In the previous programs, let me show you in those programs also how it will happen. So let us take this program. In the try block, here we are trying to read the content from the file, but the exception will occur. As a result, this print statement is not being executed, right? If you write anything before this, that will be executed. So file handling is displayed there. Then read operation is not supported, which is part of the except block. So what is that except block? Here, IO error, right? So now let us generate a uh, value error before. So that means what, in the single try block there will be multiple exceptions occurring. So here in this block one exception will occur in this line, and after that here it will occur. But because which one is occurring first? Value error is occurring first. So the corresponding except block value error will be executed. The next except block IO error will not occur because you will not go up to this statement and start reading the file. Will not attempt to do that, right? So here itself our program will be terminated. That means the try block statements will be exited from there only. So any statements which are written after the inside the finally block or after the finally block, they will be executed, but the other statements will not be executed in the try block. So let me show you, execute this program and show you the output. This time we should get data error. See, so file handling is displayed as it is because it is there before exception statement. Then after that except block corresponding to value error is executed, and as a result it is displaying data error, and finally block anyhow will be executed, right? So now let us modify this program and put this else block here, somewhere here, and see what happens. So look at what is the error? Syntax error, invalid syntax, except value error. So what is this type of exception? Here also an exception has been generated, but we are not handling that exception. So what is that exception? Syntax error. So what do you mean by syntax error? After an except block, if there is an else statement, then there cannot be again another except block after the else block, right? So where you are getting this error? In the statement except block value error in line number 11. So this is where you're getting error, right? So because there is an else block here, till here it will accept, but writing an except block after else block is wrong, so you cannot write it there. So I'll put it here now. Let us see what happens. So now you will get the exception in line 7, again syntax error. So after the try block there must be definitely an except block, And after an except block, if there are any multiple except blocks, then it can follow any number of except blocks, but there must not be any other statements in between two else blocks, sorry, two except blocks. If there are multiple except blocks, there should not be any other blocks or simple statements in between those multiple except blocks. So that is the first thing you need to realize from this. And second thing is, in between a try block and the first except block also, there should not be any other blocks. So immediately a try block must be followed by a except block. Okay, so now let me remove this one and put it after finally block. So still you are getting an exception. In line number 14 you are getting again a syntax error. So what do you mean by this? If there is one try block and one except block, so try block must be followed by a except block, right? And if there is an else block also used along with try and except blocks, that else block must come after the last except block, or if there is only one except block, then it must be after that except block. And when the finally block must come, when you have both finally and else block, else must come first and after that finally must come. So what is the sequence in which you have to write these blocks? First you must have a try block, then after that followed by a try block you must have one or more except blocks, and after that, if at all if you are using else block, then else block must come after all the except blocks, and after else block only you must have finally block. If you are not using else block, there is no issue. If you are not using an else block, there is no issue. Let me remove this else block and show you. So there is no error here in our program because we are not using else block. But problem comes only when we use else block, and if you don't use that else block after the except block, then you'll get a problem. Or if you use in between any except blocks, or in between a try block and except block, then comes a problem. So what is the order in which you need to mention write use the try blocks? Try, except, and else and finally blocks. First there must be a try block, then you must have one or more except blocks, then followed by that you know you need to have else block if at all if it is existing, right? And then finally block. This is the order in which you need to use these blocks, where these else blocks and finally blocks are optional. It is not mandatory to use this else block and finally block, but if at all if you are using them, else must come first and finally must come next, and these any of these else and finally must not be between a try and except block, or in between multiple except blocks. They cannot be used. So this is the order in which you need to use the except blocks. So is that okay? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Did Mohit join?